Alright, guys, so let's finally address the problem that is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. So now, I know this game is old, it came out in 1999, sure, and it's a great game, and it recently came out with an HD remaster. Well, not a remaster, but you can play it in 1080p, so. But yeah, it's a great game, and have I played it like more hours than I should have? Probably yes. But there's always been something that always annoyed me with Episode 1 Racer. And with every other installation of a pod race game, whether it be a mini game or an actual game, even an arcade game, this problem never happens in any other one of the Star Wars games or the Star Wars pod racer games, right? And that is, let me first show you. Okay, so here we have Star Wars Racer Arcade. Can you see? This was also made in 1999, the same year that Star Wars Racer came out, 1999. Alright? So you can't tell me that it's software related. It's not. Because if this can achieve it in the same year, they could have achieved it. So, can you see how all of the pod races look the same? Right? Like, when you're racing next to an opponent, when there's an opponent in front of you, you can see the engine binders going. You can see the flames coming out their engines. They're the same scale as your pod racer. They're the same like graphics. Sure, if they go very far away, they might depixelate or their polys will shrink, which happens in any game. But anyway, and if you look at Racers Revenge, like you see how the pod races all look alike, all of the pod races look like each other. Like it's just adds to the immersion that I am actually racing other pod racers. They're big. Their engines are have got flames coming out of them. Their binders are going. They've got physics on their engines, etc., etc. You look at any, and even the phone game Journeys, the pod races look identical. But now we go back to Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, the only racing game we have for PC, might I add. The only pod racing game we have for PC, because Racers Revenge is PS2, Xbox Skynet Racer is Xbox only, and then the Journeys one is for phone. So the only other mini game pod racing games we have are the Lego Star Wars, which I'm not counting that because it's literally one track. You race one pod. It's like 2 minutes long. But so the only game we have, they decided we are going to make the other opponents' pod races look like this. What even is that? Like, it completely ruins the immersion. You're racing Star Wars Episode 1 Racer to race by yourself, because when you're racing against anybody in this game, it doesn't feel like you are. Freaking Sebulba's pod racer is smaller than Anakin's pod racer. They have a black engine binder, which, why? Even if it was still, they could have just made it purple or pink or whatever. Why is it black? And they have no fire coming from their engines. They literally just one solid super low poly object, tiny, teeny tiny, that they might as well not even be racing. You can't even hit them. Like, there's no actual collision. Sure, you can hit them and then it just gives a explosion. But do you understand what I'm saying? There's no like, they're not like there. Like, if the race is in front of you, you just see their little, if they're in second, you see a 2 over there where they are. You don't actually see their pod racer unless you're like flying right next to them, and even then you don't even want to look at their pod racer because it's so damn ugly to look at. And when I was a kid, I used to hate this, and I used to go in every settings I could find, and I tried so many different ways to see if there was a way like around this, but no, this was hard coded into the game. This is just how you had to play. If Episode 1 Racer made the opponents the same graphics as your racer, I promise you it would be to me, it would be a much better game. I've always wanted to rant on about that, and I hope I'm not the only one who thinks this and has this opinion, but I don't know, you let me know. Anyway, peace out.